Hello friends! So it's been a while since I've made anything, done anything. So we decided to do a weekend reading vlog. Today is Saturday, is it the 12th? Does that sound right to you? It is, it's Saturday the 12th. It's actually 2 p.m. already, so I've missed a little bit of time, but maybe that'll help make this video a little shorter. But this weekend's a few things. Maybe to different people. I guess it's really only one thing that I'm focused on, and that is today is day one of the Winter Biannual Bibliothon 2019, and so I'm sitting in the car by myself right now. As you can see, I'm waiting for Jocelyn. She's currently in the library, which is what I just came out of, so that's over there. But yeah, so I just came from the library, and we're gonna go maybe get lunch, maybe make lunch. I don't really know what the lunch plan is. I think we were originally gonna pick it up, but we'll see. And then I'm going to do my TBR for the Winter Biannual Bibliothon and kind of show you where I'm at already. And yeah, but we sat in the library, we did a lot of reading, and it was a good time. So it was fun and very relaxing. We're having a nice relaxing Saturday. It's actually like the first day that we've both had off in a long time, and I know that we're gonna try to go out a little later and for the game. There's like a football game that Jocelyn wants to see, but we can address that later. So we're back from Arby's. Thank the Arby's. So we're going to gorge ourselves in that. Move this. Here's the Handmaid's Tale. I just finished this week. Wow. It is a thinker. Maybe I'll talk about that later too. We'll see. But right now, I'm going to eat. Hi. So now we're going to do some reading. She got her reading right there. But first, before we get too far into that, we're going to both give you our TBRs because Joseline here decided she's going to take part in the Winter Biannual Bibliothon as well. So we're going to see how much we can really do. We're both going to try our best. It's going to be a challenge this week. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the different challenges, and then we're going to hold up the book that we're going to read. For some of them, we're reading the same book, so there will only be one book. But then after that, I know I'm going to talk about the order that I plan on reading them in.
Me too.
So that's what we'll do. Alright, so the first reading challenge for the Winter Biannual Bibliothon, which started today, Friday, January 12th, and will end on, today's Saturday, January 12th, and will end on Friday, January 18th, is the group book
Empress of All Seasons by Emiko Jean. So currently, I'm on page 83, and I love it. It's a multi-perspective book based around this, girl who is, these two different species. But, in this kingdom that she's in, they don't like one of those species. And there's a competition where, in order to be, the new empress, you have to, compete with all of these other girls in the empire, I guess, and for the new emperor's hand in marriage.
And the all seasons part comes because of the challenges, I believe, in the competition. There's 4 different rooms, and it's the different seasons.
Yep.
So that's where that part comes from. Alright, are you ready for challenge number 2?
Yeah.
Alright, it is a host's 5-star recommendation. There was a list of them for this particular readathon that I was trying to use all books that I currently own because I own a lot. or that one of us owns, that one of us had around here. But I ended up having to get one at the library anyway. But there's only one book from all those recommendations that we already own. And that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Ooh, that is shiny as all get out, but there you go. Kind of. Alright. So this isn't that beautiful cover that I think started out as the UK cover and is now the paper cover. But this is an also really pretty, really cool cover. And actually, this is the one that I started with. And I'm on page 85, I believe. And I'm enjoying it so far. It follows Laszlo Strange, who is a librarian in this town where librarians are, I guess, not really valued. And there's this lost city called Weep, but that's not the real name of it. But the problem is no one remembers the name of it. And Laszlo remembers the moment when he forgot the name of it. And he's just been fascinated by it ever since. And then there's these other characters involved, and one's called the God Slayer, and because of that, he's going to get the opportunity to possibly go and explore this lost city and kind of maybe, hopefully, find out why he feels so drawn and compelled to it. Because the dreamer doesn't pick the dream picks the dreamer, and his has been about Weep. And so that's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of a synopsis of the book. And it's been super interesting, easy read. Strange the Dreamer. Alright. Challenge number 3 is to reread a book that got you into reading. We both were going to read this too. And then we decided that we were reading too many books at the same time. And, or too many of the same books.
Yeah.
And in the week, it just wouldn't work out that way. So I won and got to keep Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which we thought we had a copy of, but we didn't, so I had to go and get it from the library. Because for rereading a book that got me into reading, I don't remember not being into reading. Even when I was younger, like my grandma said, I always had a book with me. So I don't know exactly like a book that got me into it. However, I do have a lot of memories of this book in particular being one that at a young age I got into. I remember reading it with my mom and have like really fond memories of that. And so I guess if I try to think back to books that had an impact on me beyond just I really enjoyed reading that, this is one of the first ones that comes to mind. And so that's why I'm going to reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which I don't think really needs a lot of explanation if you're reading or if you're watching a reading vlog right now. So I'm going to just leave it at that.
And I'm reading The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. It's the second book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. This past summer, I reread The Lightning Thief, and so I figured to essentially that whole series, what I've read of it were some of the books that I thought about when I thought about the earliest books that I remember reading. So yeah, just to kind of continue on in the series. Plus, I have a goal of rereading this whole series and some other Rick Riordan series this year. So in order to do that, that's another reason why I picked this book.
Challenge number 4, an adult book.
Mm-hmm.
Bam.
So this book is Second Glance by Jodi Picoult. This is Alyssa's favorite book, and so something that I've always wanted to read just to see, like, be able to talk with her about it and, like, why it's her favorite. One of her favorites, rather. So I don't know a lot about it, but again, it was on my to-read list for this year. So yeah, I picked it because it was an adult book.
And I picked Sing Unburied Sing by Jasmine Ward. Now this book I bought last year because I heard a lot of, I saw that it was getting a lot of high praise everywhere. And then I heard on like a radio show they were talking about her, and I thought they were talking about this book. It turns out they weren't. So the book that I really wanted was a different book that I don't own yet and need to get my hands on. However, this one still sounds super interesting to me, and it's an adult book, and it wasn't as long as some of the other adult books that I was kind of looking at. And because I've had it, I bought it last year, I've had it for a little while, I would like to finally get around to reading this because it seems like kind of an important book. So I thought that this would be a good time to kind of put it in here and maybe pick it up. Challenge number 5 is kind of confusing to me, to be honest with you, but it's combining your favorite and least favorite. So it's combining your favorite genre with your least favorite type of book. Or vice versa. So really just combining something that's like one of your favorites with something that's like one of your least favorites. So, dun, dun, dun. All right, so Because You Love to Hate Me, 13 Tales of Villainy, edited by Omri, I guess. So what this book is, if you don't know, again, if you're on YouTube watching something about books, I would be surprised you didn't know, is an anthology. It's a collection of short stories written by young adult authors, and they were given their premise by booktubers. And so I love YouTube, I love booktube, and I am actually a really big fan of young adults. So those are all kind of like my favorites. However, I'm not always the biggest fan of anthologies. I just feel like they're just kind of too short, and there's a lot going on, and I would like to, I think, spend a little bit more time with my characters and everything. So this one was kind of hard for me because I couldn't think of something that I don't like as a least favorite to be like, I just really don't like those. That would then be something that I could combine with something else. I have a few things that I like less than others, but not by much. I'm pretty open. But that's why I guess I decided on this, because anthologies, where they're shorter, I'm much less likely to pick them up as opposed to a novel. So I did buy this one because I was really interested, because a few of the YouTubers on the back that contributed to this I'm a big fan of. Some of the authors that contributed to this I'm a big fan of. And so this is just a really good time to get to finally pick it up and see what it's all about.
And mine is Anya's Ghost by Vera Brosgol. I picked this because I'm a big fan of young adult / middle grade, and so that's what I kind of thought the genre was when I skimmed through it. But also, like, I'm just kind of like not really exposed to graphic novels all that much, just because I prefer like reading like a novel. So that was why I picked this. Also because Alyssa had it on her shelf and I was like, oh, that fits. But yes, but I started it this morning. I'm currently on page 94. And like it's going by so fast, and like I really like it so far. It's so far about a girl named Anya who falls down a well and meets this ghost, and like and currently like the ghost is helping with school / relationship things, but like I haven't really spent a lot of time with the ghost in her life yet, so who knows what's gonna happen.
Who knows? I do, because I read the book. But challenge number 6 is a book with a cover you don't like.
Hey, look, it's Second Glance again. So with this readathon, you have the ability to double up on some of these challenges. And I don't know, this cover just, it's a picture. And like I like it's not something that particularly stands out. Like when I take like Strange the Dreamer, I don't know. When I'm in a bookstore looking at these two side by side, I'm more interested in this one. So that's that.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I don't know anything about it.
Also going off of, just for clarification, I've never seen this exactly like this, so I don't know if this is the one from the library, because when I read it, it was like the whole cover, I think, was that little picture in the front.
Yeah, when I was looking on Goodreads this morning and like looking it up to see like how many pages it was, because I was trying to calculate, can I actually do this page count in this week? That wasn't this wasn't the cover.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's specifically something for the libraries, or like if they gave them away for free to certain people for something. Like, I don't really know why that cover's that way, but she is going based off of this because this is the cover that she's seen.
Yeah.
As opposed to the cover of the book I own but can't find anywhere. So there's your cover. All right, and mine is The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga. I am guessing on how to pronounce that. I honestly don't know much about this book. It was given to me by a friend who was getting rid of books. He does like a thing where it's not that he doesn't like them, he just gets rid of them to kind of declutter. And he asked me what I was interested in, and he just kind of picked a few to give me, and this was one of them. And it's not even that I'm like, ugh, this cover's ugly. I don't own anything that I don't really like, and so that's, again, was kind of a challenge that was hard for me to pick out. But I would never see this cover and pick it up, I don't think, because, I mean, it's nice enough, but, like, it's just got a car on it, and, like, it's just not... Nothing about it really, like, grabs my attention and makes me want to read it. So, and because it was a gift from a person, I don't really know a lot about it. So, I'm interested. You know, now's a good time to pick it up, I guess. But, yeah, but it's the winner of the Man Booker Prize in 2008. So, yay. And challenge number 7, that was 2. Challenge number 7 is... an author you've never read before.
Same color scheme.
Whoa!
I talked to you about this book already. Haven't ever read anything by this author. There we go.
Woo. And I chose City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. Yes, I have never read anything by Victoria Schwab under this name, under her other name that she uses to write. Like, just never picked anything up. This is the middle grade novel that she put out this year. I have, I think, a couple other books by her actually on my bookshelves as things that I want to read, but just haven't gotten around to yet. Honestly, part of why I picked this one is because it is middle grade, and because I did try to do a different book for each challenge, and so that's a lot of reading, and so I figured that this one would maybe be a quicker read, easier to finish in the time frame, and I've also been dying to get to this one, or any V.E. Schwab, Victoria Schwab book. So, that's this one. Again, this one just came out, so it's pretty much everywhere. I don't know if it really needs a lot of explanation. This girl can see ghosts, I believe, and her parents are ghost hunters, and she, like, moves to somewhere, and yeah, that was a really great summary. So, City of Ghosts, Victoria Schwab.
So yeah, now we talk about our order that we're going to read them in.
Yes.
Okay, so essentially, Alyssa and I were like, hey, we have these 2 books that we're going to read, that we're both going to read this week, so we should probably, like, start each with one so that we can finish it, get it out of the way for the other one. So we decided last night, she was going to start Strange the Dreamer, and I was going to start Empress of All Seasons. So yeah, that's what I started with. Then, these 2 books, because I figured this graphic novel is going to be fast, and, like, I know that this is going to be fast based on my reading of it previously. These are kind of going to be like almost like a reward for reading a portion of the other book. I know at the end of 2017, no, it was the beginning of 2018, I was, like, in the middle of this don't hate me, this really boring part of Harry Potter, where I was just like, I forget which one it was, But, like, I would, like, read a chapter in that so that I could read a chapter of Buffering by Hannah Hart. And so, and, like, that kind of worked for me. And so, to kind of get through this week, because I counted up my pages and I have, like, over 1,800 pages to read in 7 days. And I was like, this is not going to work. But we're going to try. I'm going to use these two as a reward. So currently for every 5 chapters in this that I read, I'm reading some number of pages in this, and then the same concept will go, and then when these two end, when this one ends, then I'll replace it with this, and when this one ends, then I'll replace it with that, so then I'll be alternating these two, and then I'll fit Strange the Dreamer in there somewhere.
That's true.
Who knows? At this point, I have, like, over 1,800 pages, so...
And we're both going to be working during this week, too.
Yeah.
Not that other people aren't working. Like, I think a lot of people, like, they do work during this time as well. But I know that can sometimes kind of put a damper on our reading plans.
Plus the fact that we both have 2 jobs.
That's
so, like,
true.
Between that...
Yeah, so we're really...
sleep.
Yeah, something's going to give. So I think, like we're going in, like, and the goal is still to finish everything, but I think we're just going to, like, kind of be proud of whatever we're able to actually accomplish.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm currently proud, yes, like 90 some of my pages that I currently have read are of a graphic novel, but, like, I'm proud that I've read, like, 170 pages on the first day. Like, it's
a big woohoo moment.
That's a lot for me, especially during a school year, because I don't typically read a lot during a school year. Just because I have other things to read, like coursework and things, but because I'm substitute teaching, I don't actually have things to do.
Yeah.
Enough about me. On to you.
No, on to me. No, so I decided to be really ambitious, and I actually put 7 different books for the different challenges. However, I also had kind of figured out in my mind what books, if I don't finish them all, could still count for multiple challenges, so I could still try to actually complete all 7 reading challenges. Also, for the record, I don't think we're doing any of the video challenges, because we have yet to complete a readathon with just the reading challenges. So I think that's our goal this week. But yeah, so the order that I'm reading them in, as you all know, I'm starting with Strange the Dreamer, super shiny, so I'll just kind of get it out of the way here. But that's the first book that I'm reading. Like I said, I'm already on page 85. And yeah, I already kind of talked about it. The next book that I'm going to read, I'm going to steal from you, is Empress of All Seasons. Now, this isn't like... Well, what this is... Can I finish my thought? No, so basically what I'm saying is this isn't exactly set in stone. Obviously, she's still working on it. I can move on to the next book. It's not a big deal, but I do need to finish this one in order to have finished the goal, because it's the group book. Everyone has to read this one book if you're going to complete that challenge.
That's right.
And so that's why it's so high on my list. However, I realize she's going to be working on it, so you might want to work a little harder on that one.
I've read 80 pages today.
Yeah.
And it's only like 4 o'clock.
So much drama. Anyway, so the next book I'm going to read is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, because again, this book I have to read if I am going to complete challenge number 3. No. Oh, it is. It's challenge number 3, which is rereading a book that kind of sparked your love for reading. And so, because I have to read this one in order for that one to be completed, then I will be reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. The next one that I have that I plan to read is Because You Love to Hate Me. Part of why this one is so high up is because I think with it being an anthology, it'll be easier to go and read like a story and then go back to another book if I'm still working on Strange the Dreamer or Empress of All Seasons, and kind of just read a couple stories a day and get this one done, like a few stories a day. And so that's why this one's kind of next on my list. The next 2... Nope, not ready yet. I forgot about this one. So the next one I'm going to be reading is The White Tiger. This one covers a couple of the challenges. The cover that I don't really like, it could also be my adult novel if I don't get to the other one. So that's why this one's where it is on the list. And then the next two are the last two on my list because if I do not read them, the challenge that they fill could be fulfilled by one of the other books I already did before. And that is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab and Sing Unburied Sing by Jesmyn Ward, because this is an author I haven't read before. I've never read the author Amiko Jean. I've never read by Aravinda Diga. I've never even read Laini Taylor. This is the first book I've read by her. Actually, the only one I've read before is J.K. Rowling and a few of the people in Because You Love to Hate Me. But yeah, so a majority of the people on here are authors I haven't read before. So that one will definitely be filled by something else. So that one's probably like my last book to read. And Sing and Buried Sing is for an adult book, which, like I said, The White Tiger is also an adult book. And so it will be fulfilled by that if I don't make it to the last two. So I definitely have to read the first five. I could myself. I do have to read the first 5. But the goal is still to read all 7. And so we'll see next Friday whether I do it as part of a reading vlog, if I do another weekend of that, or if it's just its own video. I will be sure to update at some point when this is over what I actually accomplished.
So minimum of 5 books for both of us.
Yep.
I could throw Outlander in there if I really wanted to.
You could throw Outlander there if you really wanted to. She originally had Outlander, but that's crazy.
Because that's like 800 pages in and of itself.
Yeah, so.
Might as well just throw The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson in there.
You do you, boo-boo, but I wouldn't do that. So.
I'm probably not going to.
Okay, so I've kicked Jocelyn out. Not really, she's over there. But I wanted to talk about... Get out of here. I wanted to talk about the book I left behind in order to take part in the Biannual Bibliothon. So my plan was always to take part in the Biannual Bibliothon. I've been wanting to do it for a while. I can't even remember. I don't think we did it over the summer. I think we did Booktubeathon. So this year, this time, starting off strong, 2019, doing the Biannual Bibliothon. But I'm currently reading another book that there is no chance in hell I would have even finished this book in a week to read the other ones, and so I'm having to put it aside, but I wanted to show you what it is. And that is House of Leaves by Mark Danielewski. I don't know. But and it is the remastered full color edition. And a friend of mine told me, like, that this is the only, like, book that's in, like, the horror genre that actually scared them, and that it's, like, really good and really atmospheric, and that, you know, it's this book, but it took him, like, 6 months to read it. And he is a fast reader. He was an English major in college, like... He's a smart cookie. And I'm like, why would it take him that long? And he's like, it's the way it's written, it's all this stuff, and, like, you have to, like, take your time with it and, like, fully immerse yourself in it. And so I was like, that sounds really cool. And then I saw the book and I bought it, and it's been kind of sitting for, like, a couple years now, honestly, off to the side. And I said that I had to finish my challenge of the year, which was 45 books. I have never finished my Goodreads challenge of the year, and I was like, I need to finish it. And when I finally finish it, it means I'm ready and I can start reading House of Leaves. Well, this year, on New Year's Eve, I think it was, I finished my Goodreads challenge.
Oh, for sure, because I Snapchatted you.
Yeah. So that's from The Ghost in the Corner.
Hurriedly reading that last book.
So, but I finished it. I finished it. And so I got it done, and I made my challenge the same for next year because I barely made it this year. Plus, I'm putting this brick in it. But it's like, it is really good and really atmospheric. But there's a lot on pages, and I was like reading it, and I thought I was making really good time. Like I read like the first 100 pages pretty quickly, but then I'm only on page 120, and I've been reading this since before the end of the year. But like, how do you read that? There's like the story's here, and then there's footnotes, and then there's like a footnote here, and it doesn't really tell you where it continues, but I think it continues over here in this box, and then this is upside down, and then this is backwards in this box, and this isn't the only page like this. It's gonna keep going like that, and then what? That's just black.
Sounds
and
like
then,
she's just complaining.
And then look at, that's just all footnote. Those are pages of just footnote. That's not even the main story there. But like, there's 3 main stories, and then all of a sudden the writing gets weird, and it's actually really cool, but it's gonna take a lot of time. And I really enjoy it because it does, like the writing like that, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, what's happening? But it makes sense within what's happening in the story at the time. And it all kind of works together in that way, and like really does like fully immerse yourself in the story, and you really do have to take your time with it. But because of that, I don't think that this book, which is 700 pages, well, that's an appendix. Like, there's appendixes, like, so, like, 670, yeah, like, we'll say between 670 and 700 pages. Like, there was no way that this book, with working, was going to get finished. But I am really enjoying this, so this may come back in a future weekend reading vlog or something like that. But I did want to talk about it because it's really cool and I am really enjoying it, but I do have to put it aside if I'm going to take part in the Biannual Bibliothon. So, yeah. Hi, so you can't really see us. It is 8:15. Jocelyn is going to be driving us. We're in the car. Oh, there, you can kind of see things happening. But you can't see us. We're gonna go get dinner, as we haven't yet, but that was the plan all along because Jocelyn wants to go to the football game, watch the football game rather, and we're gonna do that at Permante's. It snowed, so we're going slower, we're using the brakes, and I'm going to not vlog so that she can focus. So my initial plan was to take my phone in and show you, what we ordered and the screen for the game and everything, and I just completely forgot to do it. So, but we did go. I ended up getting just 5 wings, and then some nachos because I wasn't really hungry, and like a Coke to drink. It is currently snowing out. Like probably it's not the first time it snowed, but I think it's like more snow than we've seen yet this year from here, I'd say. This winter, yeah, for sure. So, yeah, so that's what we have to look forward to for tomorrow. We'll see how much is actually out there. It's currently 10:47, and my mom is texting me, which is kind of funny because she is like a very early to bed, early to rise kind of person, but her TV show is on. So she's watching Blue Bloods and is awake at 10:43 at night. I, however, don't have cable and don't watch that show regularly, so what I'm going to do is read some more of Strange Dreamer and then go to bed. That's the plan. Right now, I didn't get very much further in that. I actually started reading a little bit of Harry Potter too, but I'm only on page 94 of Strange Dreamer, so I'm going to try to make a little bit more of a dent in that, and then finally go to sleep. I would have Jocelyn talk to you, but she's working very intently on a crossword puzzle right now, and it's a timed thing. So I'm gonna let her do her thing until she's
company
done.
with several recent animated movies.
Lego.
There we go. That's why I keep her around.
Yes, because I know some random things. But, oh, she finished the puzzle.
8 minutes and 19 seconds.
Alright, do you want to talk to people now?
I finished Anya's Ghost, and it was pretty good. I gave it, I think, 4 stars. 4 stars, I think.
Okay.
I didn't read any more of Empress of All Seasons. Now that I've finished a crossword puzzle, that's my next job. But we'll see how far I get before I fall asleep.
Alright, so we'll check in with y'all tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good night. Good morning. Oh, I'm a mess. So it is... I'm just looking at myself for the first time. It is 9:15. Oh, I'm going to turn... Our closet is also a mess. So I'm going to turn... I don't feel well, so I'm going to spend most of my day in bed, which is really helpful with the reading aspect, but kind of stinky in other aspects, so yeah. And Jocelyn's going off to work.
Your friendly noodles ambassador.
Alright. Goodbye, working girl. We'll miss you.
I read 70 pages already today, though, so...
Yeah, she is on top of it. She's killing this Biannual Bibliothon. I'm slacking. But
in order to reach my page count, I have to read at least 200 pages when I come home after work. I don't know if I want to do that or not.
well, she's got a great head start. I, on the other hand, have not been doing great. But since I will be here sick all day, I hope that that will get me to where I need to be, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I also do have some chunks of time that I can dedicate to reading this week, so that'll be helpful. My eyebrows are crazy. I should get them done. Not
Me
today,
too.
though.
Me too.
We should do that sometime. Maybe we'll vlog it. We'll see.
Maybe we'll vlog it. I mean, it's going to have to be on a weekend.
That it is. Alright, well, I just wanted to let y'all know first thing in the morning, and I'll check in later. Okay, so a little backstory. I was up at like 4 a.m. And that was when I knew I wasn't feeling well, and then I struggled to fall back asleep till sometime between 5 and 5:30. And then I woke up, had the morning that we showed you a little bit of, Jocelyn going off to work and me deciding to just stay home all day. Since then, I've been reading a lot, mostly in, they're right here, mostly in Strange the Dreamer. I took the cover off. It's got this really cool moth on here, and from the little bit I've read so far, I can tell that moths are going to play an important role, I think, in this. Which would make sense because on every version of a cover I've seen, they've kind of been showcased. And so I'm interested to see where that goes. But I've mainly been reading out of this. And I also read another chapter in Harry Potter. I'm not quite rushing that, but yeah. So to give you an idea, just so we know how much reading I end up getting done today, I did put on Goodreads where I was starting the day. So I got my Goodreads out. I don't know if you can see that. I am 5% of the way done in Harry Potter. Well, I started today. So from what I read yesterday, I was 5% of the way done with Harry Potter. I was only on page like 18. And I'm 17% of the way done of Strange the Dreamer. And I started today on page 94. So I'm definitely beyond that now. I think I'm on page 130 something. I'm on page like 30 something in Harry Potter because I only read one more chapter. And I'm on page 139 of Strange Dreamer. As you can see, I'm laying down. This is my pillow. I'm gonna try to take a nap for a little bit and then maybe shower. And even though I'm not leaving the house, look more like a person today. I am feeling a little bit better, and I'm hoping that the nap, if I can take a nap, that'll help more. So, and then, yeah, I plan on doing some more reading, and I might do some more filming. Not just, obviously I'm going to film vlogs, but I'm thinking more so like other videos too. So, I guess we'll see, and I will check in with y'all later. Bye. So it is about 5:15. As you can see, I've showered, and I actually had a little bit of lunch, and I'm feeling a little bit better. Still kind of tired, still trying to, clear that all up. I haven't filmed yet, but I think I'm going to do a little bit of filming before I really hunker down and read for most of the rest of the evening. Like I said, I had lunch, and because I find it difficult to read and eat at the same time, I put on a movie. So I ended up watching a movie, and then I kind of fell asleep after that. When I said I was going to take a nap, I ended up not taking a nap. I was unable to fall asleep, but I watched some stuff to try to get myself to take a nap, and it didn't really end up working, which is fine because I ended up getting my nap a little bit later. So that's where we're at. I've slept, not too much reading, watched a movie. It was See You in Valhalla, which I own. I bought it because I liked some of the actors that I recognized that are in the movie. And I like some of the stuff within the movie. I don't think it's the best movie ever or anything, but I was just kind of in the mood to watch it, and so that's what I did. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm going to try to do a little bit of filming for a separate video, and then I'm going to really try to get some more reading done. I ended up actually getting a page count that was necessary for my how many pages total, and so I think I'm gonna share that with you guys in a little bit, but that's in the other room, so I'm gonna have to show it to you in there. So on this page here, I've written out my plans for the Winter Biannual Bibliothon. These are the days it takes place. We're currently in the middle of them, Saturday the 12th to Friday the 18th. And then these were the challenges and the books I'm reading, which I told you about earlier in this vlog. Then I was going to start writing down the video challenges, then decided against it, because I'm just going to be too busy. And then here I came out with an order of what I was going to read. Then here I wrote the pages as I saw them. Here's what I wrote. They're the Goodreads page counts. Now, some of these are the exact same. Some of them are a little different because I would do at the end of the story, but then they would include the pages afterwards that were acknowledgments or reading club, book club guides, things like that. So that's why if you see a discrepancy there. And then down here, there's a big old mess because the eraser's terrible. But for my total page count, from the page numbers that I got, if I am to read all 7 books, I will need to read 2,392 pages. If I only read the top 5 books, which would mean that I would still read everything that would qualify as completing the 7 challenges, I would need to read 1,822 books. According to Goodreads, the total is 2,454. and the top 5 on Goodreads is 1,884. So either way, I've got around 2,000 pages to read this weekend if I am to complete the Winter Biannual Bibliothon, which I think is definitely going to be a challenge, but also is doable. So it is currently 8:23 and I'm in bed, and my plan is to read for the rest of the evening until I fall asleep. I did some filming, but I didn't like the way it turned out, so I ended up deleting it. I'll have to give another try tomorrow, I guess, or sometime in the near future. But I also go back to work tomorrow. So yeah, so I'm going to be heading to bed earlier than yesterday for sure. And right now I'm just going to look forward to a very restful evening with some Strange the Dreamer and maybe some Harry Potter as well. And I will check in with you either right before bed or hopefully tomorrow morning to just let you know how that final little bit of reading went on this first weekend of the Winter Biannual Bibliothon. So it is Monday morning, and I did read more of Strange the Dreamer. I got to page 202, so it wasn't as much reading yesterday as I wanted, but we're getting somewhere. On the other hand, you want to tell the people what you did?
I have about 100 pages left of, what's that book called? Empress of All Seasons. And yesterday I read the first 16 pages of Sea of Monsters. And I actually changed my Jodi Picoult book because I'm going to be driving a lot this week, so I figured I should probably have an audiobook so that I didn't waste that time. So I got Mercy by Jodi Picoult, specifically looking for audiobook covers that I didn't like, as well as I've never read Jodi Picoult, so anything by her would fit into the author I've never read before category. Actually, that wasn't what it was. It was adult book.
So either way, it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where we're at. And that's going to conclude the weekend reading vlog. So, ciao for now, friends.